Tomboy, written by Susanna Thompson, narrated by Sarah Sampino. Chapter 5. What did you figure out? Jake asked. It's sex. I looked at him and wondered how I had failed to notice how sexy he was before now. Even his smile was sexy. What did you figure out about sex? It's what's between us, I said. Once we get that out of the way, we can go back to normal. His smile disappeared. What do you mean, get it out of the way? You were right when you said that I can't stop thinking about you naked, I admitted. I need to have sex with you to get it out of my system, and then I'll stop thinking about you that way. Jake didn't seem too happy with my plan. What do you know about sex? You only just had your first kiss today. I know the basics of what to do. Besides, you know all about it, and you said that you wanted to have sex with me, I reminded him. The passion had faded from his eyes, and he now looked upset with me. I said that I wanted to go out with you. Isn't that the whole point of dating? You get to know each other so you can have sex. My friends are always talking about how many dates they have to go on before they can have sex. We already know each other, so we can skip right to the sex. Anyway, we have the house to ourselves this week, so this is the perfect time to get it done. Now his anger flared. You wouldn't have such a screwed up idea of dating if you were friends with girls. Guys don't tell their friends everything, Cam. Like what? I asked in bewilderment. I had thought that he'd be enthusiastic about having sex with me. He had made it clear that he was attracted to me. Instead of answering me, he asked his own questions. Why can't we have a normal relationship? If you like me enough to have sex with me, then what's wrong with being my girlfriend? I don't want that. I just want to go back to the way things were before. I don't understand what the problem is. It's not like you haven't done this before. Obviously, that girl wasn't your girlfriend, or you wouldn't be asking me out. It was just sex, right? And that's all you want from me, Cam? Just sex? He regarded me with a sullen expression. I want to put this whole thing behind us. I was disappointed that the mood between us had deteriorated so quickly. Do you really think that it'll be that easy to go back to just being friends? He let out an exasperated breath. You don't even know what you're talking about. You have no experience with this. I don't understand you, Jake. You said that you weren't going to have sex in my room until it was with me, and now you don't want to. I do want to, but not like this. He looked just as disappointed as I felt. Go do your homework or something. I couldn't believe it. I had just been dismissed in my own house. My shoulder knocked into his arm as I stormed past him. He couldn't make up his damn mind about what he wanted. My solution was simple, and it would have solved the problem. In my distress, I wandered into my parents' old bedroom. Here was more proof that romance ended in misery. Mom had turned this room into an office after the divorce, and she had taken a bedroom upstairs. She apparently couldn't bear to sleep in this room alone after sharing it with Dad. I did have to get my homework done, so I went up to my room to start on it. Jake appeared in my doorway about an hour later and told me that dinner was ready. He was often the one who cooked meals when he was over during the week. Mom thought it was great, because she always had leftovers for lunch the next day. I remember being surprised as a child that he already knew how to cook, but he had told me that he helped his mom prepare the meals since they had a large family. Connor seemed to always sleep in longer on the weekends than Jake and I had many memories of the two of us making breakfast together. He actually taught me more about cooking than my mom had. We had an easy companionship back then, but now we ate our spaghetti in silence. I loaded the dishwasher while Jake went to do his homework. I didn't see him after my shower when I defiantly walked out into the hallway wrapped in my towel. Later on, I heard the shower running when I left my room to use the bathroom, so I went to the one downstairs. We both had cereal for breakfast in the morning and parted ways in the driveway. I drove Connor's car to school so Mom wouldn't know that he hadn't been home. She had bought the car for us to share, but he seemed to drive it more than I did since he had a girlfriend. I usually rode with him to school, but often got a ride from one of my friends, depending on what we did after school. Kyle and I ate lunch in his car again, while I told him about my evening with Jake. He was thrilled at first when I told him about Jake kissing me. Then I managed to shock him for the first time in my life when I told him about wanting to have sex with Jake. He was giving me an odd look by the end of my story. You hurt his feelings, Cam. I hadn't expected that response. By offering to have sex with him? By telling him that you wanted to have a one-night stand and move on. The fact that he turned down no-strings-attached sex says that he likes you a lot, Kyle said. He wants me to be his girlfriend, but I can't deal with that. Why not? Kyle asked. Look at how miserable you were when Scott broke up with you. I don't want anyone to have that kind of power over me. I had never told this to anyone before. The reason he broke up with me was because I was keeping him a secret. You're the only one who knew about him, but all his friends knew about me. We even went to a few dances at his school. He felt like he wasn't important to me. Guys don't talk about it, but we have feelings too. I hate to break it to you, Cam, but avoiding relationships isn't going to make you immune to love. I wasn't following him on that one. What do you mean? You need to be part of a couple to be in love. Kyle shook his head. It doesn't always work that way. Just because you're not dating Jake doesn't mean you don't have feelings for him. He has feelings for you, even though you're not his girlfriend. I don't have any feelings for him, I said confidently. It's just physical attraction. You didn't even know you were attracted to him, so who knows what other feelings you have for him. Why don't you go out with him and see what happens? Kyle suggested. I was determined to do things my way. My plan now was to ignore all my thoughts about Jake until they went away. Now that he wasn't trying to get my attention, it would be easy to avoid him.